Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu ala nabiyil ummiyyim. All praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have reached the beginning of the next series, and this series would be about how to get over negative experiences of the past. And in this first video, inshallah, we will talk about some of the reasons why we are bound to have bad memories or bad interactions. The first reason is humans, by their very nature, are soft hearted. Regardless of how a person might present themselves, generally speaking, humans are very sensitive at heart. So, if a sensitive person is dealing with others and by their very nature they're soft, then aren't they going to be affected? Just like how imagine someone wearing very clean white clothes and they go to a world and they go outside and there's dirt, dust, and messy places. What isn't the chances of getting those clothes dirty, isn't it very high? Of course it is. So likewise, if a person is soft by nature, Allah has made us very soft hearted, we're bound to end up in a situation where we will be hurt. So number one, you're bound to be hurt. Number two, humans are very complex. So by you dealing with other people, because they're complex, just like how you yourself are complex, the odds of there being a misunderstanding or an actual conflict of interest or some type of an injustice, it's gonna happen. Is just bound to happen because humans also, by their very nature, are more self-centered. So when two humans interact, aren't they bound to pull that discussion or pull that situation to their favor? And once they do that, you will see how complex the person is and how self-centered that person is. And by that very definition of them being self-centered, they're gonna do things that offend you. So humans are complex, and you're dealing with a complex creature. Then there's bound to be some negative emotions afterwards. And the third one, which is very thought-provoking, is others also go through a learning phase, learning curves. So if you're dealing with someone who's just learning how to interact with others, let's just say you're dealing with a teenager, whether that be your student, someone who you randomly interact with, or someone you know from family, a cousin, sibling, brother, whatever. So in all those situations, you're dealing with a young person who's just learning their emotions and learning to control their emotions. So the odds of them offending you, disrespecting you, and not considering your rights and your the respect that you deserve, they're very high. The chances are high of them disrespecting you. And the second thing, the second reason why they might not be able to deal with you nicely is maybe they're having a bad phase in their life. Maybe they're going through difficult times. Or the other reason could be they're just getting to know you. They don't know if they can trust you. So they might come across as negative and so on. But over time, they want to trust you. So in all those situations, others might interact with you in a negative way, but it's because of the phase they're going through or they don't know you. So all these reasons combined, we come to this conclusion that yes, there has to be possibilities or situations where we are going to go through negative experiences. So how we understand it is really important. So I think we should look at negative interactions as a common or normal default, that because we don't know each other maybe, or we're getting to know each other, or it's a learning phase. Sorry, my throat is really dry. So the default is there has to be some type of negative emotions in the beginning, and then over time you'll get over it, and the person that you're interacting with will also get over. So in your mind, just think of negative interactions as just a common occurrence. Do not think of it as intentional harm, that was directed towards you. Just like how in the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, although the harm was very directed to Yusuf, but at the end of the day, the brothers were just learning that the devil, shaitan, puts jealousy and hatred of others in our hearts. So that's what they learned. And that's why when the story is all over, Yusuf alayhi salam very rightfully attributes all the negative occurrences to shaitan and says shaitan brought this between us. He didn't say my brothers are jealous and so on, because jealousy is a human trait, it's a common trait. So jealousy is going to be there, but for them to act it out and try to harm him, that's the devil getting between them. And the brothers themselves know they're doing something wrong, but just that they're going through a learning phase, a learning curve. So now once they learned what they did was so wrong, they realized they shouldn't have done it. So now it's no harm done, and they just carried on. And that's how Yusuf alayhi salam, because of his spiritual and emotional maturity, was able to read that situation that nicely. So we should try to do that, inshallah, too. Anything negative happens, we should try our best to see it in a positive light. May Allah give us a way to understand. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa sallallahu ala nabiyil ummi.